Hi everyone, I'm Bailey Frumen, psychotherapist, coach, and author of Own Your Power, and today I'm going to be your guide as we talk about place and space, why where you do what you do matters. We're going to be diving into three important elements today. We're going to be talking about the environment, right? The environment where we work, where we play, where we live. We're going to be talking about our feelings, right? The feelings that we have associated with not only our life, but also our environment, how we surround ourselves, what we surround ourselves with. And then third and most importantly, we're also going to be talking about the supportive elements that we need to put into place. And even like, what's a supportive element? What are those supportive structures? Those things, if you will, to keep a simple word. What do we need to put into place so that we can be living not only in alignment with our feelings, but also in alignment with the environment and having the environment support us as well. So we're going to be diving into those three things. Before we do, what I'd love to guide you through is a little ideal day visualization. Now, I've done the ideal day visualization for nearly every one of my workshops because it's such a great tool when it comes to really visualizing our future and visualizing the map that we want to set ourselves out in. Today, what I'm going to invite you to do is listen to this ideal day visualization, and I'm going to change it up, of course, as I always do. But I want you to listen to it through the ears and the lenses of really visualizing your environment, really visualizing the space that you put yourself in and how you most importantly feel about that space. So this is your time, and this is your warning call, if you will, to get yourself comfortable. So whether it's a comfortable seated position, you want to lay down, whatever's going to be of biggest and most support to you. But let's get you comfortable. And we're going to dive into just a little mini meditation, a little guided visualization activity. So as you've gotten yourself settled and silence your phone or whatever you need to do, the dings and bings of your emails, just turn it all off and be present, be focused with me for about the next 5 to 8 minutes. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and I'll close my eyes as an inspiration. So we're going to close our eyes and start to find ourselves getting centered. So when we shut off one sense, which is our vision, the next thing we need to do is invite in the possibilities of slowing down the breath. Slowing down the breath is essential to us being guided for our visualization. Slowing down the breath gives the body a signal that we are ready to relax. So with our eyes closed, cutting off one sensation, the next thing is taking those beautiful, deep, melodic breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Just following those deep rhythmic breaths, and do them at your own pace and time. But just allow yourself to feel full body breathing in and a full body exhale, letting it all go. A full body breathing it in, and then a full body exhale and letting it go. We're going to be breathing deeply and visualizing our ideal day. So this could be somewhere in the future, 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 months, whatever from now. It's you starting and progressing through your ideal day. So breathing deeply, letting go anything that you had going on prior to this visualization, and allowing yourself to just be open to what's going to transpire and come up next. Breathing deeply, really visualizing for yourself, traveling somewhere into the future. Where are you? Who is there? Look at the four walls as you wake up and start your ideal day. Do you wake up with the sun? Do you wake up before the sun? Do you wake up with an alarm clock or just on your own? It's your ideal day. You get to decide. And as you go through your ideal day, I invite you to consider how you want to feel through the course of your day. Even as you step into your closet, take a look around. What does it look like? You get dressed for your ideal day. How do you want to feel? Confident, bold, accomplished, sexy, successful, at peace. You get to decide. It's your ideal day. You are calling the shots. You are making the decisions. You are in charge of your life. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. As you head into the kitchen to feed yourself for breakfast, where do you go? What do you eat? Is it prepared for you? Did you make it yourself? Is it a quick smoothie? Maybe even journaling or checking your emails? Or is it a long breakfast with the love of your life? Is it something quick and connecting with your kids, a roommate? Are there other people there? Are you starting your day in silence with a cup of coffee? You get to decide. It's your ideal day. Just pay attention to these environmental cues. So you go through the course of your day, finish up breakfast, and you're headed into how you're going to spend the bulk of your day. Perhaps this is work, maybe it's school. You get to decide. But if you do go to work, I want you to pay attention. How do you get there? Where do you work? What's the environment like? Where you do what you do matters. Pay attention. Are you the boss? Do you have a boss? Do you work with others? Do you work alone? Are you doing lots of computer work? Are you outside? You get to decide. Paint the picture any way that your heart desires. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. As you go through the course of your day, into your work day, maybe your school day, how do you want to feel in that space? What do you need to do? What do you need to call in? What do you need to experience? What do you need to surround yourself with so that you can feel exactly how you want to feel? Breathing in and breathing out. Whether faced with challenge or faced with celebration, you get to decide how you want to show up in that space. You get to decide who you want to be in that space. You decide. As you wrap up your work day and you head into the next part of your day, what do you do? Where do you go? Do you go to your favorite yoga or spin studio? Do you take the dogs for a walk? Do you crash out on your favorite couch with a great big sweatshirt on, nice and cozy? You get to decide. Whether it's dinner with friends, making cookies with your kids, cocktails, going out, staying in, cooking. You get to decide. This is your ideal day. Choose it in alignment with how you want to feel. Surround yourself with who and what that will support you in feeling the way that you want to feel. As your ideal day comes to a close, you go through your night routine, washing your face, brushing your teeth, and as the day comes to a close, you think about what you're most grateful for. What was it in the course of that day that you were grateful for? What was it that you were most grateful for that felt truly in alignment with you, that allowed you to feel impactful and powerful? Beautiful. Thinking about exactly what it looks like. When you're ready, we're going to be coming back from our ideal day into today, into this moment right now. So slowly wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, waking yourself up, slowly letting your eyes flick open. It's your ideal day. You are the ultimate decision maker. Breathing deep, letting it go. So I always love to do the ideal day visualization for so many things, whether it's creating a vision map or even making your vision board. We create that ideal day as a guide. You might find that there are a lot of things you're like, that was pretty much my same environment, my same people, my same family, my same friends, my same job, my same whatever. Good. Okay. So maybe you are pointed exactly where you're supposed to be. Maybe you saw something wildly outlandish and you're like, that's not at all what life looks like now. Well, maybe it's a wink from the universe that things are going to change, or at least giving you little droplets of inspiration in the direction that they need to change. But as we said that we were going to be talking about space and place and why where we do what we do matters, is first talking about the environment, right? When our environment feels messy or disorganized, dirty, out of alignment for us. Now this doesn't mean, let's be clear here, this doesn't mean at all that you're supposed to live in a mansion overlooking the cliffs of Malibu. Great if you do, but we can appreciate where we are and we can also want more. These things are okay. That's completely okay. So I want you to consider your environment. Is your environment a reflection of how you feel about yourself? For better or for worse? One of my favorite things to talk about is our underwear drawer, right? And more often than not, we've got some old pairs floating around in there that, truth be told, we should probably toss. And I always like to say, does our underwear drawer at all reflect how we feel about ourselves? Well, same is true of our environment. Are you putting up with broken things or light fixtures where half the bulbs are out? What can we shift and change about our environment that adds a little spit shine on it? Okay, so both at home and at our workplace, I want you to look through the lenses of that ideal day and see how close or how far apart, right, that your ideal day environment matches or mirrors where you are right now. You might find that the gap is very small. And you're like, oh, okay, the gap is really small. And you know what? We can do some things, some small things to just close the gap. You might find the gap is huge where you're like, oh my gosh, this is not at all where I'm living. Let's start with where we are. Funny enough, I really got this bee in my bonnet that I wanted to have an Audi Q7. I wanted a white Audi Q7. It's like an SUV, and I really, really wanted it. And the thing was in my mind when I started making my movies about it, I started thinking about how I'd feel driving this car and how I would take care of this car, how often I would, get it cleaned or vacuumed out, and would we eat in the car, not be able to eat in the car. All these things I was fantasizing about this car. And the thing that I knew that I had to do even before I was to walk on the car lot or get the Audi myself would be I had to start by treating what I had right now the way I would be treating that Audi. Because an old dog doesn't necessarily learn new tricks. What we have to do is start to change our behavior as soon as we know that the behavior needs to change. So with my current car, what I started to do was I started to get it cleaned more often. I started not to let things pile up in there. I started to even get a bag to sort the books that I have for my daughter for when she's in the car, right? We start to do these small things, caretaking for what we have now, preparing ourselves for where we want to be. And this can be both within your home. It can also be in a car. This could be at our workplace. But using the vision that we have with which to grow and build and request more from the universe. So even small things so for the last several years, I've hosted an annual retreat in Puerto Rico. So we do several international and domestic retreats a year, and Puerto Rico is always one of them. And for me, I've always loved going to wherever we stay. A lot of times this is beautiful, gorgeous villa, and the sheets are white, and the comforter is white, and everything is white, and everything is so fluffy. And I, for a long time, had told myself the story of, oh, well, when I have the house or the new bed or the whatever, then I'll take care of this and make sure that all my sheets are white. Well, on my very, very first retreat that I had, I came home and I said, why am I going to wait? Let me do this now. So I didn't necessarily go out and spend $1 jillion on new bedding. I went over to Home Goods, right? I went over to a local retail store and I started to do some upgrades, right? Upgrading my sheets, upgrading my pillows, upgrading my comforter. small upgrades that just made me feel like I wasn't waiting for my environment to catch up to me. Instead, I was making the shifts and changes to have my environment meet me where I was. And that brings us to our second element that's really important. And that second element is all about our feelings. Does your environment reflect your feelings? Right? And what can we do and invite into our environment that would reflect our feelings? So just going back to the example about the car, right? I wanted to feel powerful, and I wanted to feel awesome. I wanted to feel sexy, and I wanted to feel like this car was a true representation of all the hard work that I had put in, and this was to be mine. And I felt so good about it. Well, here's the thing. When I started treating myself and my things that I have with that same energy that I perceived I would only have once I reached that point, I started to feel it already. Long before there was a car or car lot or any of that, right? It started to happen now. So I wanted to share that with you because it's really important for us to be clear about how we want to feel. Now, this is true in relationships. This is true about our work situation. This is also true about our environment. So how do you want to feel? Well, I'll tell you, when I put all that beautiful white bedding on, and it happened over time, let me tell you, I wanted to feel relaxed. I wanted to feel that at the end of the day, I was crawling into my oasis. And you know what? I was able to feel that way. And why? Not because I went and spent $1,000 on new bedding. I didn't. I went to Home Goods. But it was because I decided that that's what I deserved. And I decided that that's how I wanted to feel. And I decided that I wanted to make choices and decisions in my life in alignment with that vision, in alignment with that request, in alignment with my best self. So as you go through the course of your day and you're engaging with your environment, I really invite you to look at it through those lenses. What are the small changes and shifts that I can make? I'll tell you a little funny story about a friend of mine. I love this story. So she had a light fixture in her bathroom that had like 3 lights to it. And one of the lights had burnt out, and she was doing an experiment to see how long it would take her husband to realize that and change it. She didn't want to nag him, so she had told herself a story that I will just leave it and I'll see how long it takes him. Well, it started to take him quite a while in order for him to see that the light had burned out. So much so that a second light of a 3-light fixture had burnt out. So it was dim in the bathroom, and he still didn't notice. And she started to really get herself worked up in this dither of a story about how he didn't care about her, he didn't care about the environment of their home, he didn't care about cleanliness. I mean, she was really going to the rabbit hole of all the things that she was worried about. Well, the truth was that it's up to her to either make the request or it's up to her to change and shift her environment. So whether this means bringing in, some supportive elements, which is another thing that we're going to be talking about, such as flowers, or, I have some things here just to kind of share with you guys. I love to create an ambiance, so I always have a candle. So this happens whether I'm just relaxing and Netflixing by myself, or if I am having friends over, I'll have candles going. It just sets a mood, sets an environment. I always light a candle before I work, and I blow it out once I'm done with work. It creates a start and an end point, right? So when we think about our work environment, how can we invite in different supportive elements that allow us to enjoy our environment, to have our environment be a true reflection of ourselves, right? I want my experience to feel luxurious. I want it to feel relaxing. I want it to feel as if I am at the spa, right? Without the overhead spa music. So here is my candle. I also have, which everybody has different supportive elements, but I'll just share with you mine. So I have this selenite tower. It's a crystal tower. This is supposed to be good for business. And frankly, I think it just kind of looks cool. So I have that on my table. I have some greens here, as you can see. And I find that sprinkled throughout my home and my work is our plants. And plants allow that energy to come through. Plants allow us to have our place and space match our feelings. Here's another one. This is an essential oil. And this one's blood orange. So it's good for like a mood lifter. And I like to put this in either a diffuser or even just like slap a little, oh, it's dripping all over me. Slap a little on for myself, right? Just taking care of yourself, taking care of your environment. Great in a diffuser. I even have my like little oil here. And sometimes like through the course of my day, what I'll do is I'll just put some on my hands and I'll just give myself a little love, right? We need to do these things. It's not about waiting for our environment to match us, but instead allowing our feelings to be the guide of how we want our universe to shape itself for us. Even small things like, here's a picture, right? How often do we actually like print out pictures? And I have a bunch of frames over on my bookshelf over here. But here's just a picture so that I can like reflect back and have a memory. So this is us at actually one of my retreats with some of the girls who were at the retreat, right? We need to do these things. We live in a digital age, so a lot of times our pictures, maybe they're on our phone, or we even have like our computer paper, our background. But how often are you printing things and putting them into frames? Other than sometimes like kids' school pictures, a lot of times we forget to do this. Just do it. It's really simple. You can upload your pictures and order them online. It's having these visual reminders for us that allow us to create an environment. And they go hand in hand. The creation of our environment means that we're taking really good care of ourselves. Taking really good care of ourselves means that we're showing up to the world with a little bit more, right? We're feeling just more whole, more ourselves. And when we feel like that, then what kind of actions do we take? What kind of story do we tell ourselves about our self-worth? All of these things go hand in hand. So like I said before, you don't have to have a mansion overlooking the cliffs of Malibu, and great if you do. But you can start to appreciate where you are now. Make small tweaks where you are now. The supportive elements, I think, are really important. They can be anything from some of these things I showed you, even this, like this. So these cards are from Danielle Laporte, and they are truth bomb cards. But this one says, your life purpose is what you say it is. So just having these things kind of propped up can be really very helpful. So whether it's something on a bracelet or a necklace, whether it's something that you have framed, a lot of times these are our visual reminders that we are the master of our domain, that we are the decider of our future, that we get to align ourselves and our environment with how we want to feel. So I invite you to go through the course of your day and really look at your space and your place with these lenses. What are the small things that you need to add to create an experience? They don't have to be super expensive. And frankly, sometimes it's about clearing the clutter that makes us feel lighter. Sometimes it's about repurposing old things into our space that makes us feel lighter. Sometimes it's really jazzing up our space. I remember having my office when I worked at the school, and I had garlands strung, and I had lots of colors and lots of pictures all around. And the kids, I worked at a school district at the time on the child study team, the kids loved to come to the office because they loved to just kind of look around with that childlike amusement, wonder, play. So I invite you to go through the course of your day and really use those lenses of wonder, those lenses of curiosity, those lenses of allowing yourself to just see what's possible for you, what you want to call in, what you want it to look like. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and start to shift and change your environment. Make your workplace comfortable. Make your workplace playful. Make your home a place that feels really good for you. Because at the end of the day, only you are the one that has the power. You are the one that has the power to create the life that you were meant to lead. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.